Put it to a bit, head tilt back, and you know where we at. Got the thing in my grass, and we living life fast. And I put that on the dub, motherfuckers can't hang. What you want, what you talk, what you at for the game.
Yo, what's cracking? Welcome back to another episode of Never Enough Game. It's your boy Silent 200, and I got a little Seti right here with me.
Yo.
What's cracking, my boy? How's your week been? How has the time away been?
Man, honestly, shit's been cool, dog. I mean, I just been getting my mind right, bro, because I was tripping for a minute there. So yeah, I've been just getting my mind right, and you know, I feel a lot better. I feel for a while there, for like the last couple of months, boom. I mean, I feel like I was getting really close to some fucked up shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Now I feel great, fool. Like I'm 100%. Like, man, in the gym, I saw a big ass difference. So I've been doing cool, dog, and just, you know, I mean, shit. I've just been sober, bro. I feel a lot better, a lot more aware of a lot of things.
Would you say that that being sober is harder? Like getting into the process of becoming sober, because I know that people get into habits of doing things to the point that they trick their mind and body into believing that they need it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like taking a shot in a social environment because you're nervous, or doing the coke after you're drunk because or you might not even be drunk now. You're just doing coke just because you're having alcohol, and you might not even be drunk at this point. You've done it so many times because you got drunk and you needed to get sober, but now you're just doing it and drinking at the same time because that's what you're used to. So like people who get put into those type of habits, like how hard do you think it is for someone to get out of it, and like what steps do you think somebody should take themselves if they're like in that situation right now?
Number one thing that I would tell you is, look, you're not gonna change until you absolutely have to, and you feel like you have to. I mean, maybe some people don't, but one thing that I saw is nobody around me was really pushing for me to stop, but myself. I'm gonna be honest, because everyone was kind of telling me to keep. They'll tell me something when I act up and I do some crazy shit, but then they wouldn't really tell me not to drink again. You know, it wasn't like something where people were really tripping. It was more like I'm tripping on myself. You know, and it was consistently happening, and I was getting into a situation where I was like, man, you know what? I'm not a dumb motherfucker, and I can make logic of things. And I tried a lot of different ways to drink, and being able to drink, and like, all right, maybe if I just drink beer, or maybe if I just do. I tried all the variations. It just didn't work for me, bro. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I'm thinking to myself, look, everybody's different, but after I kept trying and the same results would happen, like some crazy shit would happen. Mm-hmm. And also it was affecting my business. It was perfecting my personal life to the point where I couldn't function correctly. Because look, I have to be on point. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of shit, bro. Like I'm doing a lot of things. I have to be in my 10. I gotta be in my 6. Like all my senses have to be on point. And what I noticed is like, bro, I just knew logically I had to stop. So one day I just said to myself, and it wasn't nobody putting pressure on me but myself. And then I remember I was like, I got to take this shit serious because my plans are not being unraveled. I'm not doing the things that I need to be doing. Mm-hmm. And the drinking is making that happen. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this shit hella serious. I don't give a fuck what I have to do, but I'm going to fucking stop. I don't think I have a huge problem, but I do have a problem. And that's when I read that book and that you had recommended me to read. And I took it hella serious. And that's when everything kind of just moved to the side, right? But I would say that it wasn't one big thing. It was just accumulation of a lot of bullshit. And you know what I would say too is sometimes what ends up happening, bro, and now I can see it, is that, and I don't know if I talked about this in the last podcast, but it's like there's something in your head, fool, that just clicks. And once you click that way, you can't click it back.
Yep. Yeah.
And when you do that, it's like it just doesn't make sense anymore. Like when you're a child and you're playing with toys, you're not gonna go back to playing with fucking toys. You just look at it like it's a child's thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I look at that now. Like drinking or doing shit like that, like I feel like it's child's thing. And the thing is, the more that I've stopped drinking, I now see what the effects were actually on me. What fucked up effects that it had on me. Number one, my testosterone levels were very low. Like I worked out every day. You know, I would work out every day, early in the morning. And the weights that I was lifting were heavy, right? But I wasn't able to progress. And then since I stopped, bro, my testosterone levels are through the roof. You feel me? Like I'm benching more. I'm doing the same workouts, not even winded, not even tired. I'm just like I have way more energy. And if I would have known, and then my mind is so clear that I read a lot of books. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I read so many books over the times that I feel like when you drink, it almost doesn't let you fully use your whole brain. Because you know people don't. I didn't drink like that either. I just drink on the weekends. But the thing is that I would binge drink on the weekends. So then that shit, you'll make up for all the shit you didn't drink just on that weekend. Yep. And then the thing is, your mind's barely starting to get back to recuperate, and you might think you're okay, but what it is, you're just so foggy minded that you're not able to fully understand everything that's in your head to notice that you need to take these steps to get yourself out of the situation you're in right now. That's why a lot of people stay in these fucked up positions, I feel like, because the other thing is the government does a lot of this shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it keeps us in these positions so you stay complacent. And then I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that no more. And then what happened? I started remembering all of my knowledge starts coming back to me, all the books that I've read, and all the knowledge starts to compound on itself. You feel me? Then I started remembering why I don't do this. Then one of the things I was doing a lot is I was talking over a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And when I would talk, and I wouldn't give people a chance to talk back. And I remember I had changed that part of my character because it went with this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Mm-hmm. And I remember that I can catch myself now. I'm about to say something, and I'm quiet, and I let the person talk. And that's helped me a lot with my family and relationships with people that I have. I can catch myself right when I'm about to get to that point where I'm an annoying motherfucker. Mm-hmm. and I'll shut up and I'll let this person say something, because why do I want to talk so much? If I'm not, you learn from listening. If I already know something, you feel me? Then what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? I started all that shit started coming back to me.
That's good.
Yeah. And then I would say, people say, oh, you need to stop drinking. I'd be like, bro, you're the only motherfucker that knows if you need to stop drinking. You're the only person that knows what you need to do. Now, I'm the type of person where if something is bothering me, like, and it's keeping me from my goals, then I'm going to stop whatever it is, right? And then some people don't do that. Some people just let whatever's bothering them keep bothering them. So nobody can ever make somebody stop doing something. They always have to make that decision for themselves.
Exactly. You have to want to do it. You could tell somebody over and over again, but at the end of the day, like if it's not in their head that that's what they need to do, then there's something. It's either something that they're gonna learn hopefully by themselves, or something bad is gonna happen to them where they're like, "Fuck, all right, I need to calm down."
The thing is, no. But here's the more fucked up part than that, Silent. The more fucked up part is they're never learn. You see what I'm saying? That's what I realized too. Okay, like for example, me, I have breaking points and I have moments where I'm at least knowledgeable enough to realize and logically be like, hey, this is not working, right? Mm-hmm. But there's some people that never find that. The problem is, bro, that you might not ever change. It's not going to be a breaking point. So you could turn into a bum in the streets. Yeah. You could be addicted to fentanyl in the streets, bro. There's not always a good, either you change now or you change later. There's you never change at all. And that's, I think, the most fucked up part.
That is the most fucked up.
Because you could even end up in prison for the rest of your life. You feel me? You can end up killed, or you could be a fucking bum for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? There's not always a happy ending to this shit. So some people are they're okay with that. Some people are okay with living like bums in the streets. And that's why I say, hey, bro, you gotta judge. Every man is responsible for his own actions and his own life and what he wants to do with it. That's why when I see bums, bro, I used to give them money. I see bums and I see like a perfectly 100% man, And I don't give them niggas money, bro. I don't give them niggas money no more. Cause I'm like, look, bro, you're a grown ass man. But you know what? Maybe that's fucked up of me. Because not everybody has options.
Well, not every you have the right to look at things your own way and feel that way. Like me personally, I do kind of pick and choose also who I give shit to. Like as far as the homeless, like sometimes I'll see somebody where I'm like, this fool just looks like he was out all night, like he's gonna be good later or something. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some people where you could tell that something's wrong with them, whether they're on drugs or whatever. But some people are on drugs because like something fucked up happened in their life, and then they got stuck on it. Like for instance, like somebody get in a car crash or get shot or something like that, and get on like oxys or whatever for the pain, and then they'll start taking it too much to where they start becoming dependent on it. Then once they can't get that prescription no more, now what are they going to? Now they're going to the next hardest thing that they could find, which is like fucking heroin, crystal meth, like fentanyl, like whatever they could get their hands on with for a cheap dollar. And then people end up having, you know, they just throw their whole life down the drain, and then we see them on the streets and shit like that.
Well, you know, something like that happened to me. Like when I got shot, and I was taking medicine for that shit. That shit hurt, bro. So I'm like, man, I'm taking medicine. I started to realize I never done like downers or shit like that, bro. And what I was taking, I think it was like a low level Oxycontin or some shit. But I realized when I was doing it for my body started becoming like needing it. You feel me? So that's because of the pain. And I remember the doctor, she was telling me, hey, look, we're gonna take you off all your medication, this, that, and that. I'm like, what? I was getting kind of angry with her. I'm like, what? Look, this shit hurts. And then she was just like, look. She looked at me like she was scared, like, and then I was like, oh shit. She's like, look, you're already showing signs of addiction. I'm like, damn, I was only on that shit for like a week and a half. And then that's when I'm like, damn, that's what happens a lot. People might get like a back injury or something like that. Yep. They'll do a little bit of prescription drugs, and they don't want to feel the pain. So then they'll start doing the drugs. But really, you got to rough the pain out, and just salve it out. The lady said, hey man, you're gonna just get used to the pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people find themselves. I guess maybe I'm a little bit too judgmental, but I guess it depends where you're at. And I am being too judgmental on that case because look, a lot of people do things and find themselves in fucked up situations, and you really don't know what they're going through. You assume that everybody knows what you know, right? And then so they have options, but some people don't know the things that we know or a grown man might know, right? And they don't see options, or even
it's different personality traits, right? You have people that either have the mentality of always becoming like always being a victim, right?
Yeah.
To where everything is about them being a victim. Why me? Why I need this because of that, and the world is against me. And then you have people with like mindsets as where they understand why things are happening and they know how to bounce back and push through like struggles.
Well, look. I'm gonna say something about that. I think knowledge is a big thing, and I believe that if you're a knowledge seeker, you'll always find it. But bros, I wouldn't be lying if I said we were not lucky. I'd be lying if I said that we're very lucky to be here. You feel me? And for example, okay, Baby Wody, you know, he's currently incarcerated right now. Yeah, right.
Free Wody.
You just saw the thing that happened with the Northerners in Merced, right? Yep. So they just got hit up. Like 40 of them got wrapped up.
Yep.
I think maybe a couple of weeks ago they had some other fools in Salinas that also got hit up too. And then and the thing, yeah, there was some fools out there. They got indicted as well. But my point that I'm trying to make here is this. All right, let's put all the gang stuff to the side, and then I'm trying to look at it from this position. What do you think would force, and we don't know what they got cut up for. I don't know what they got caught up for. I don't know. I just, you scroll through fucking Instagram and shit like that, you see shit. But my point is, like, Baby Wody or what's that guy's name? GB. Yep. Those people, you can only assume. I said it was drugs, and they said on the newspaper, drugs, guns, and all these types of things. Now, why would somebody sell drugs? Why would somebody have guns? Why would somebody get caught up into these things?
Yep. Well, I mean, it's for people who come for people like us who like know that type of environment, we all know the reasons why, and it's, you know, motherfuckers are trying to survive in any way that they can, because whatever hand they were dealt, you know, they're choosing that route because they think that's probably the most easiest way, and that's probably actually goes back to our human nature of choosing the path of least resistance, because it's easier to do things when there's not a lot of restrictions from stopping you from doing it. So like if it's easy for somebody to get drugs and easy for them to sell it because they know the right people, then what's going to stop them from doing it if they want that fast money, right? If going to a 9 to 5, waking up when because you have to wake up, and going to work and doing shit and you don't want to do it, like you have those two choices right there. You're either going to go ahead and try and get the fast money and crash out soon, or you're going to go ahead and get the slow, dependable like money that's going to come and get you where you want to go in the long run. And whatever you choose, you got to understand that, you know, one of them is obviously the better choice, and that's the slow and steady. Some people choose to want to hurry up and get fast money by doing those type of things, and then they end up crashing out, and then it's, oh, free the homie, free this person, free that person. But they just got stuck up in the mind state of thinking that choosing fast money is the best route when it's not always. There's probably ways to get fast money in legal ways, right? But some people might even see that as too hard for them.
What it comes down to is this: they just don't know,
Yeah.
and they don't have somebody like you to tell them, and they don't have somebody like me to tell them, hey, look, bro, this looks good, but in the long run, this is what's gonna happen. And what I'm trying to get to is like, I've been there myself. You feel me? I've been handcuffed. You know, I've been in a situation where I wanted the fast money. But I didn't think it was fast money. I thought it was the only money I could get. And that sounds crazy now. With all the things that I know, it sounds crazy. But I can understand how a young man could get himself wrapped up into these things because he wants to provide. You feel me?
Yep.
Maybe he has a child that's a little kid and he wants to provide, but he can't get a job. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Maybe he wants to do his own things. He wants to move out of his parents' house, but he doesn't know how to get money.
It's the mind state, though. Because at the end of the day, everybody can get a job somewhere. You just don't
believe so.
You just don't want to accept with what is going to be given to you.
Let me tell you how my life will happen to me. Actual real shit that happened to me. Okay, I come from a hardworking family. All my family works hard, bro. They're business owners, and I was always raised to work hard as fuck. That's like paisas, fool. When you work hard, that's like you're putting in work, you know. Mm-hmm. And if you can't work hard, then they look at you like you're a bitch. Like for real, they'll be like, that nigga's a bitch. And so when I grew up, fool, and I would get suspended or something, my mom, my uncles would take me to work, but that's where I'm working. I knew I would hide from them. I try to hide from them, hit the cuts. Well, they would get on me, can we get it? And I'm like, I don't want to go to work, nigga. I'm going to work. It's not an option. Mm-hmm. So I'm out working with them. They put me up against grown ass men working with them. And then I'm a little ass kid. I'm working against some paisas. They're like, you better beat him. And I'm over here digging holes, all types of crazy shit, right? And they would give me some money, you know, it's whatever, it would be cool. But I got to a position, right? I was a youngster, and I'm like, man, I want my own money, you know, and I tried to look for a job, but I couldn't get a job anywhere. I was trying. I couldn't get a job, bro. I hit up my uncles. They said that they already had people, and then the reason they didn't want to give me a job is because I was too young. They said I didn't have a work permit, and I couldn't get a work permit because I wasn't going to school like that. You feel me? Because I thought school was kind of a waste of time. And then even going to school, I was getting into hella shit, bro. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna go to school. I'm probably gonna end up. I would go to jail every time I went to school. You feel me? Like for real. Go to school, break a dude's nose, going to jail. Go to school, I start a riot, nigga, go to jail. You feel me? And then I got to the point where I was like, man, I don't even want to go to school because I'm going to just go back to fucking jail. You feel me? So then I was just like, what do I do? Like, what am I? And everyone around me, they didn't know shit about money either, bro. Like, the only shit that people knew, you're just going to go off of the people around you. Yeah. Everyone around me was like, fools were dying. You feel me? Like, there were shootouts that was going on actively to the point that I got to the point where I felt so like I want money, but I want to make my life be worth something. I want to do something with myself. But every direction that I turned to, I didn't have anybody giving me a direction that was different.
So what was wrong with working with your?
They wouldn't give me the work at that time. You feel me?
Okay.
Because they lived hella far. I lived in Vallejo, so I couldn't go all the way out there, and I had to go to school. You feel me? So then it was like, damn, I'm getting frustrated, and then the thing is, once you start hitting these options, you're trying to provide value for yourself, but all your surroundings are not letting you, and there's nobody that can help me. So then I'm just like, bro, my older homies are laying niggas down. You feel me? Like that's our fucking way of getting money. And I'm like, and then you're stuck in this area. I'm stuck in Vallejo. I was trapped. I was literally trapped here. And I'm trying to get out and I can't get out. So it comes to a point where you're just like, you feel hopeless. Mm-hmm. And then you have no choice but to assimilate into the people around you. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And then I stopped giving a fuck about my life too, because I'm like, this is all we have. This is our life. This is how it's gonna end. And then I still said I'm still gonna try to get out of this shit. And what did I do? I started laying niggas down too. I started laying niggas down, started robbing them, started taking their money. I went to jail for this shit. You know, it's public record. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, I started just laying niggas down. Nigga, give me everything you got. Because I didn't think there was another option. Because I didn't give a fuck, really, in my life. Because no one else gave a fuck around me. You feel me? My uncles were out there, but they didn't come. The thing is, when you got people that want to help you, they want to help you, but they want to keep you down, too. Mm-hmm. They would just call me when they needed, like, some muscle or somebody to come through or, you know, a little backup. But it wouldn't be permanent. And because people want you to do good, but they never want you to do better than them. And I had the mindset where I'm trying to get out and I can't. So I did what I had to do, you feel me? And I went to jail, nigga. And I went to jail and I got caught up.
I feel like that's yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm telling you. That
so what were the point that I'm coming from? But is from an adult's standpoint. Because that's when you were a juvenile.
Yes, but juvenile. I'm talking to the juveniles, the youngsters. Yeah. I'm not talking to grown men. I'm talking to the youngsters. Now, what I'm saying to the youngsters is I can understand how you can get caught up in situations like that. But even grown men, even some grown men, depending on who you're around, look, my next point is we're not your regular people because you're lucky to be where you're at. And so am I. Because a lot of motherfuckers didn't make it to you. A lot of people that are probably your same age are not in your position. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Just like a lot of people are not in mine. So what I'm trying to explain to you is this. The power to listen to some people like us is like hella good, because if I would have had people to that I could talk to or listen to when I was a youngster, I wouldn't have done all that shit. I would have figured out that I could have just started a business. I could have fucking legally done something. There's so many options, but you can't even see them in front of you, bro. I was laying niggas down when I could have just done so many different things, but I didn't know that was even an option. Mm-hmm. And then as I started getting older, I started getting influenced by mentors. But I'm lucky to be alive, to be honest with you. But aside from all that, because I know there's a lot of youngsters in here, bro, you guys should take advantage. You feel me? But anyways, me, for example, I put everything to the side. I slipped through these cracks, bro. And I managed to stay alive long enough to where I started to seek knowledge, right? And I was alive to the point, damn, I'm still alive. You know, all the rest of these motherfuckers are gone or in prison. So then I started searching. And I always wanted to learn. I went to college. What happened when I went to college? I talked to a Mexican dude. He would hear, I always had a real big thing about the government oppressing our people, bro. Like Hispanics, like they're always trying to lock us up. Because when I went to prison, what I thought to myself was, why the fuck am I here? Right? Mm-hmm. And I started questioning everything that happened in my life to get me there. And I look back and it was all grown men, Mexican men. So many of us, we're fucking deep as fuck, but we're all in prison instead of in the streets taking care of our kids. We can't take care of our kids, right? Because our kids are now being raised without their dads, and that shit just happens, whatever. Fast forward to the mentorship. This guy was like, he took a liking to me. He was a Harvard graduate, fool. And he's like, look, I like you. You have a very strong mind. At this point, I was already reading books. I was consuming so many books all the time because I just wanted the knowledge. And then after that, he directed me to another guy that was my mentor as well. and then that guy directed me to somebody else, and then before I knew it, I had about 3 to 4 guys that I looked up to that gave me advice on the regular that led me to like do hella good. Eventually, everything got kind of fucked up towards the end because of certain decisions that I made. But I'm just saying all this to say, look, a lot of the times, all people need is somebody to guide them and nudge them in the right direction. I have certain people to this day that I talk to that I just spoke to here and there, and their whole lives are different now. You feel me? They're feeding their family, not only their family, like their whole family, their moms, their dads, their girls, their kids, everything like that. And just with a little bit of help. And I really like to do that type of shit. But the problem that I be having sometimes is I'm just one person and I don't have the time to do that on a one-on-one basis for everybody. So if you're having some type of issue, bro, and you need like maybe just a help in the right direction with anything, this is a good channel for you. And I think the type of stuff we were talking about in the past was cool, but it wasn't really helping nobody. You can help a lot of people. You have a lot of situations, like you help me a lot of times, fool. Like you help me with that book, a lot of shit like that. And that's the type of the reassurance and a type of brotherhood that you need from another man that helps you and tells you to do the right thing instead of going self-destruct and doing some fucked up shit.
Well, yeah. What type of people do you want to be around? So for the youngsters that are inside of if they see themselves in a situation that they feel like it's really bad and they want to get out of, what you need to do is that you need to imagine what is the best version of yourself look like what does your best life look like, right? And then you have to think about, is what you're doing now, the actions that you're doing, the habits that you have, do you think that lines up with that version of yourself or somebody else that you see that's being successful or wealthy or healthy or whatever it is? And then that's the start of it. That's when you start changing. That's when you start implying that discipline into yourself. And if you don't have discipline, then that's something that you need to work on. But
how did you learn to get discipline?
I learned from being insecure. So, because I was very insecure about myself in middle school, because when I was in middle school, I was overweight and I had like a body odor problem. Like I wasn't taking care of myself.
God damn.
Big fat.
I'm just fucking around, dude.
Big fat.
I might get that 100 though. He ain't playing.
Big fat stinky motherfucker, dog. And then nah, for real, dog. Yeah. And then yeah, so I would get picked on in school and shit like that. And I wasn't living on the block at that time. I was living away by myself. And I didn't have no father figure that was there that was teaching me how to be a man. I didn't have no male figure in my life showing me how to do things that a man does, like how you're supposed to act. I was stuck in my house all the time, playing video games, not interacting with kids. I had one friend that I had, and I would just go to his house to play video games. We didn't fucking do shit, dog. And it was like that. That's what I was doing young, and I was always in the house by myself because my sister and my my little brother that was born at the time was being watched at my grandma's house, who was like fucking like miles away, and then my mom would be working. So I'm stuck in the house from the time I get to school all the way until when it's nighttime and my mom gets back. So like I had a lot of like fucking like personal development issues. You know what I'm saying? And basically what happened is that I started working out because I didn't like the way I looked. I started taking care of my hygiene. I started fucking fucking practicing like shadow boxing, looking at myself in the mirror. And then fucking sure enough, that fucking when I went into 8th grade, I ended up fucking knocking out one of the dudes that was trying to bully me, dog. I actually did it in front of oldies. Rest in peace. Because I've known oldies before. I got in the neighborhood and started gangbanging. But yeah, this would try to fuck with me, and I got up and I slept him in front of the whole class, dog. So yeah, so leading into 8th grade, so the summer leading into 8th grade, I started working out hella. I started going to the waterfront jogging, fucking coming back home. I had this curl bar that had the fucking weights like welded to it. And I would be over there just fucking curling this shit, putting it behind my head, going like that, doing hella push-ups. And then, yeah, by the time I got to 8th grade, I was like a different person. Nobody recognized me. And then one of the first dudes that I seen that was like trying to bully me, he tried to bully me in class, and I fucking slapped him in front of everybody. And Otis is right there, rest in peace. And then anybody else that bullied me before, I was like running up on them. I was like, "What's up, motherfucker? Ooh, you was talking all that shit before." They're like, "Damn, Chris, I didn't even know it was like that, bro. I was just playing with you." And then I just had like this fucking aggression of like, because I was like, damn, I'm ready to fuck some fools up. And I had this like built up fucking aggression. I'm 13, 14 years old now. I got my hormones like kicking up and shit like that because I'm going through puberty. And then yeah, then by that time I'm living on the block, and you know, being on the block in that environment, and then having this like aggressive version of myself that I fucking created was just not a good mix. You feel me? So then I was naturally attracted to that because I still had no male figures in my life besides my grandpa, who was actually coming around in the end, but he was just watching us. And then yeah, the rest is history, fool.
Do you think that when you were younger, if you could have talked to yourself as a grown man that you are now, you would end up in a different place? Or you would be better off?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, it just depends on what stage of my life I was in.
At that stage.
If I was at the stage of being in 8th grade, 7th to 8th grade or whatever, I think that I could have like made myself go in a different direction, probably.
What trajectory do you think you would have been at if you could have talked to your younger self? Do you think you would have been disciplined more?
Disciplined, yeah, that's one thing. But the thing is that like, it sounds easy saying that, but it's like, I don't know what type of person I would be if I didn't go through all this hard ass shit that I've been through that like structured me the way that I am right now.
Well, let's say then your son, right? Do you think that your son, right, having you as his dad, do you think that he's gonna be ready for the world?
I don't think no kid's ready for the world.
As a grown man, though, with you teaching him.
With me right here, yeah, 100%. With me here.
Then as opposed to you not being here.
I think if I wasn't here, it would be, it's just easier for, especially boys, when they're young, it's easy for them to be influenced by everything else when there's not an authoritative male figure in their life to say, stop, no, you're not going that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like I have 3 little brothers. Like, if I had the mentality of, oh, I want to keep this as a generational thing, I could have been like, yeah, you guys are all getting in the hood, and I could have taught them at a young ass age. Because I was being hella stupid when I was young. I was making them throw up the West. I was making them throw up the 3 and shit. And then I went to Fout Springs, right? And then when I got out, I found out that they were still young as fuck. They were still like in elementary school, but I found out that they were tagging the hood on the fucking block with chalk and shit like that because I left that imprint on them before I left. And I was the only male figure with authority in my house at that time. So when I got back, I already knew that shit was wrong. And I was like, damn, what the fuck did I do? And I immediately stopped all that shit. I talked to all of them. Whenever I seen them trying to throw something up, I stopped it. I beat their ass a couple times. You know what I'm saying? And I completely eliminated that from happening. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that maybe, do you think then, because from what I'm listening to, right, you had a change in Fout Springs. And if I'm listening to you correctly, right, and you had a big change, it seems like you became more mature. But you can be you can grow up and be an immature person. But it seems like maybe you benefited from those figures.
That's what I'm saying.
Now I'm not talking about the youngsters though. I'm talking about like Mr. Bonnarant, Mr. Rampley, Thomas, definitely. Like all those guys that were in there. I feel like maybe they had an impact on you to make you shaping up because
I think that has, I feel like they're
like
the program in general, the structure of the program and the discipline that you have to go through. Like you don't want, when you're that age, you don't want to fucking wake up at 4 a.m. and do jumping jacks and push-ups in the fucking sand or the fucking snow. You don't want to fucking do it, dog. I don't
or run in the rain. 5 miles in the rain.
I don't care who the fuck you are. You don't want to do jumping jacks, squats, sit-ups, none of that shit in the fucking snow or the rain or whatever at fucking 4 a.m. You want to be in your fucking bunk reading a fucking book or just snuggled up with your fucking blanket, dog, not giving a fuck. And it's not like that. You get your ass up, and if you don't, the whole fucking dorm's gonna be mad at you because people are gonna work out for an extra 30 fucking minutes because Gizar didn't want to get out of fucking bed. You know what
I
I'm
always
saying?
got out, dog. I'm the first nigga on. Nigga, I was the one. I was doing the extra push-ups. They used to call me Fossum in that bitch.
It was just the structure that was introduced, and then like also like the inner like more of the gang culture that was structured there as well. And being through all of that stuff, being forced to talk more because I was more of an antisocial person that didn't like talking, and being in that environment, I ended up being somebody that had to talk because it was my responsibility to talk. You know what I'm saying? De-escalate situations, tell these fools that they need to go over here and fight. Like just talking to people, using my brain more in a very sophisticated way when it comes to talking.
What?
So when I get out and you start, when I get out, I'm like, I'm blessed. I'm like, damn, like that's what's up. Like, fuck, I'm fucking finally free, dog. Even though it was like chump change, right? But when you're young, you're just like, goddamn, you're hella excited. But it didn't take much for me to realize that, damn, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to have my freedom taken away. I don't want to be sent this fucking far away from my fucking home because the whole fucking 2 years I was locked up, like my family never visited me. While everybody else is getting furloughs and fucking getting visits and shit.
My bad, dog.
Nobody visited me, dog.
It was like, oh, you won't get a visit? Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Turn around,
for sure,
start
dog.
crying and shit.
Hey, dog, I'll be like, it must be nice, shit. Hey, fool, I wasn't even on the phone,
Oh,
dog.
shit.
Dog, that's because that's how poor my family is.
Fuck,
That's how they were. Like my mom didn't have transportation or the money to get there. She didn't have the money
I'm
to.
a dick. I shouldn't have said that.
Nah, it's all good, dog. They didn't have the money to put on the phone, so I couldn't get on the phone call either, dog. Go ahead, fool. You can laugh at that one, dog. I'll give you permission. But yeah, so shit like that. So it's like when I get out, and it's just it's having a self-realization of like how fucked up everything is, right? And it's like I'm like, I know what I got myself into, and I know what comes with it, but like I don't wish it on my own family because I know the feeling of getting your freedom taken away. I know the feeling of getting your ass beat by 3 fucking people for fucking 30 fucking seconds, but it was supposed to be 13. I know the feeling of like all of that, of like, you know, taking a risk, not knowing if you're gonna fucking die when you walk out the door. And I do not wish that on any of my friends or loved ones, you know what I'm saying?
No,
that are not accustomed to that lifestyle. So that's where it comes from. It didn't necessarily come from those people that you talked about, even though they probably played a small part in ways that I can't comprehend right now. But I know that just the whole program in general, going through that, and then just all the fucking the bullshit, like
for me,
the fights, the losing friends, and all that shit.
For me, the only thing that I could say that sounds different, and you don't understand it because you're a kid while you're going through it. But if you take an outside perspective, that's probably the most men that actually gave a fuck about you in some ways. And sometimes people can give a fuck about you. Sometimes the way that someone can make you give a fuck about yourself is by not giving a fuck about you. Like, for example, like I had a lot of conversations with some of the staff that were there, and they made me look at myself a lot differently. And they looked at me like to the point where they'll be like, hey, look, you're probably gonna come back, you know? You gotta make a decision here, this, that, and the third. And they made me look into myself a lot and question a lot of things that I do. And my whole life I've had like this one dude that was saying shit to me, and that shit would just keep reoccurring in my head. Mm-hmm. But not only that, they made me feel like I wasn't a piece of shit. You know, like I could do something with my life. Like this shit's not so difficult. Because when you have another man, right, that has seen the world and he knows what's possible out here, and he looks at you and he says, "Hey man, you're kind of bright. You know, like look, you're a leader. You're leading these people. You know, why don't you go and pass your what's that shit called? Not your fucking
knowledge?
GED." I'm like, I'll never get a fucking GED. Fuck all that. And I passed my GED, you feel me? And they pushed me to pass that shit and those things. And that's what made me feel like, man, I guess I'm not that stupid, you feel me?
Them motherfuckers did not do that shit with me, dog. The fuck?
Hey.
They liked your ass.
Nah, but there was other people where for example, this Mr. Shipley, not Shipley, McCollum was like, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I didn't have a lot of conversations with him.
No.
That's why.
He was a mean motherfucker, but he was straight up like, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're probably gonna get killed. And to be honest, I don't give a fuck. That's on you. Mm-hmm. You decide what you want to do. And that's what I mean when I say is by them not giving a fuck actually opens up your eyes to be like, damn, I should give a fuck.
Well, Mr. McCollum did say some shit like that. He was all like, yeah, you guys are all going to prison. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you guys are all going to prison, Miles. All of you guys. You guys are like one big fucking circus of Serenios. So I was like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
he's all like, if you guys don't change your habits and, you know, whatever the fuck he said. I don't remember what he said, but I just remember him saying that. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you see those guys over there? He's going to prison. He's going to prison. He's probably going to die. He's going to go to prison. I'm like, what the hell? This was crazy.
But
dog.
sometimes you got to be honest. So that way, like, for example, let's say you're doing a business or something, or somebody's fucking up, right? And they just keep making excuses for the reasons they're fucking up. Let's say in your position, let's say one of your subordinates keeps on fucking up, right? And you're like, hey, man, I told you to do this. And he keeps fucking up. And then he keeps making excuse after excuse. Like this motherfucker can't listen. Then at points like, well, I guess you're right then, Rob. I'm going to just have to fire you. Because there's no way that you can actually do this.
Right.
And then Rob's going to be like, oh, no. I could do this. So then, for example, an entrepreneur, someone trying to start a business, and they keep making excuses for themselves. Well, I don't find the hours. I don't find the time. Well, I guess then you're just going to be fucking broke.
Exactly. That's just like...
You're forcing them to think their way out
That's
now.
just like somebody saying, somebody's working a job, and they're like, I want a raise. It was like, okay, if you want a raise... we're gonna have to send you to this location over here, and you're gonna have this many more responsibilities. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's too much.
But you can't get the raise.
You don't want to raise then.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Now let me tell you something else. Before we cut this short, what would you tell yourself? What do you think you would tell yourself if you were younger? What would be the most important thing that you could say if you could actually say it? Or what do you think would be the most important for like a youngster? What do you think would be the most important thing that you would say?
I would say treat education like it's something serious. And I would say definitely that's a good one, dog. I don't know. I would say
top of your head.
Socialize more. Don't be nervous to be around people. Like put yourself in uncomfortable situations that you know are good for you, but you're just running away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that you know you need to do that you're like, fuck, I don't want to do that because it's fucking boring or whatever. Like do those things that you know that's good for you. The shit that you hear that you're supposed to do, but you don't do, like going to school and fucking like not drinking, working out, like the shit that you avoid, like do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Listen to your fucking parents. Like your mom's asking you to help around the fucking house. Don't give her an attitude. Don't disrespect your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like be respectful to your parents and your family. You know what I'm saying?
I would say
that would be one thing.
I would say the main thing would be pick your partners correctly. And when I say partners, I mean like in a relationship, a romantic relationship.
That's hard though when you're young.
I know. That's why I would say don't think that whoever you're gonna mess with
is the one.
And that the reason why I'm saying that is because nowadays, a lot of like the homies like that are our age, what I see has happened, like all these fools are fucking up in is, and myself included in a way, you feel me? They're all going to jail for shit like I'm not gonna say names, but there's a lot of like fools that I know on both sides of the equation that are just going to jail because they're with the female will snitch on them or say something to them, and I'm not saying like specifically like right now, but as a young person, that's such a big ass commitment, bro. When you're with somebody, you have to really fucking like you're with somebody just fucking around, cool. Yeah. But date around, fuck around with different people. Don't cause that wrong relationship, bro. That wrong mentality, even if you're a youngster, will fuck you up. And then I've seen that shit follow people from youngsters all the way up. That's the number one thing I would always tell And a lot of I've noticed a lot of guys nowadays, they'll just stick with the same girl for hella long.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason that is because they're not social like that no more. Like the females are more social than the niggas really.
Mm-hmm.
Because the men, they're just playing video games, like you say, or doing shit like that, or they don't really be like niggas be gang banging on Instagram now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're more watching, and the females, they'll just be fucking moving around. So I don't know, bro. I think that's fucking up a lot of the youngsters.
Yep.
And they're becoming antisocial because of it, because they're not socializing as much. Because when we were young, but that's one thing I would tell myself. That'd be like the number one. Because every guy that I've ever seen that has fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to say their names, but damn near every motherfucking guy has stemmed from that situation.
From a female.
From a female, killed over a female. You feel me?
Yeah.
Got addicted to drugs over a female.
Went to jail.
Overdosed off of a heartbreak. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Killed somebody over a female.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of fucked up shit. And then that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people are not emotionally
Emotionally mature.
mature, bro. That's another thing, fool. Like motherfuckers need to start like that's. It all
But
comes
see,
together.
that all goes with the lack of a
Knowledge,
like,
a lot of
figure.
family figure. So with that, I want to say, like, look, man. If you guys, I feel like a lot of people will benefit. If you guys think that what I just said was interesting, need some advice on any of those type of things, go ahead and join the group. You feel me? That I have linked in the bottom there. I'm gonna try to help as many people as I can. I'm gonna go live on there, talk to people, question, answer. If you need something, I think that I could provide a lot of value to a lot of you guys, man. That are probably I've already talked to a couple dudes already on the one-on-one, but I'm gonna start telling them and head on over there, bro. You don't gotta do illegal shit, bro. You ain't gotta sell drugs. You ain't gotta do a lot of this stuff that's gonna eventually take you down the wrong path, and you're gonna fucking self-destruct, bro. You feel me? Like me, I was just drinking like a motherfucker just a couple months ago, and now I'm on the right path, fool, and I'm going to where I feel like everything is gonna align itself correctly. But I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. We're gonna wrap this up, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all that dope shit. And like the homie said, hit the link in the description, and the homie will get at you. Bam.
Head tilt back, and you know where we at. Got the thing in my